Hey guys. Okay, so what's today? Wednesday's version. And Wednesday's episode of Breakout. Okay. Sunday, June 9th. From Owen's Master Plans and Evil Plots. Super secret plan for defeating bad guys with a ladder. Okay. So then he's got our house at bedtime. Okay. And then over here, he's got the bad guys. Inmates' evil plan. They've got a ladder. Remember, that was one of his fears, going up to the second floor. And then secret hiding spot for defeating bad guys with ladders. Good guys' tools. So he's hiding behind a tree with a saw so he can cut the ladder. It's pretty funny. I mean, for a kid. And then action time. Look, he's actually cutting it. And then good guys win because the bad guys fall. And the police come. Thank you, Owen Tucker, for your brave work capturing these bad guys. And then he's all happy. Okay, so that's his plan. Monday, June 10th, Wolf Creek Middle School morning announcements. Monday, June 10th. Good morning, Wolf Pack. Please stand for the pledge to the flag. Pledge. You probably noticed as you entered the building that we have some visiting law enforcement. That's related to the escape of the 2 inmates from the prison over the weekend. There is nothing to suggest the escapees are anywhere near our school, but police are committed to keeping everyone safe. They'll be on hand as long as the situation continues. To make sure there are no disruptions to our learning, you'll see them in the traffic circle during drop-off and dismissal, and we'll have a police presence both inside and outside the building during our school day as well. Some other announcements. Gym classes will be held inside today. The 8th grade science water monitoring field trip out to Calder Creek has been postponed. Another reminder from Mr. Russell that library books were due last week. If you still have some, please turn them in today or tomorrow. The chess club tournament starts today after school in room 5F4. Wolf Creek Middle School Field Day is this Friday. I hope you've all been practicing for the Mad Mile. If you signed up to bring plates or napkins for the cookout, those can be dropped off at the office any day this week. Baked goods, veggie plates, and other perishable items should be brought on Friday. Happy birthday this morning to Alyssa Beals and Jake Irving. Our quote of the day is from children's rights activist Marian Wright Edelman, who said, "Education is for improving the lives of others and for leaving your community and the world better than you found it." That concludes our morning announcements. Monday, June 10th, letter from Nora Tucker. Dear Wolf Creek residents, our principal says the police are at school so learning doesn't get interrupted, but nobody's getting anything done today. I get that the officers are supposed to make us feel safe, but seeing them in the halls with their guns kind of makes it feel like the world is coming to an end. Lizzie and I are in study hall now, doing nothing, just like we've done in all our classes so far. I thought math would be different because of Mrs. James. She's been around forever and will probably still be hanging out in there when you read this letter. So here's a tip. Do not forget to bring a pencil to her class. Mrs. James is the kind of teacher who answers any complaint with a story about how back in her day, they walked to school barefoot in the snow and they never would have slacked off on algebra just because 2 killers were wandering around in the woods. When Mrs. James asked for today's assignment, Walker Tremont said he didn't have it because his math book was in his dad's car when his dad got called out to man a roadblock. I thought Mrs. James would give her usual lecture about responsibility, but she just nodded and told Walker to bring it tomorrow. Then it really felt like the world was coming to an end. She at least tried to do a regular math lesson, but when she had to take a phone call, everybody started talking about the breakout. Josh Randall says his mom works at the prison and is convinced the inmates had help, probably from a corrections officer who gave them the tools they use. Cole Bordeaux's dad works there too, and Cole says there's no way a CO would have helped them because guards know what those guys are like better than anyone. So Josh and his mom don't know what they're talking about. Then Mrs. James hung up the phone and tried to review probability for her final exam. That didn't work because when she asked for an example, Josh raised his hand and said there's an 80% chance some guard gave those inmates the tools. Cole didn't bother raising his hand before he said there's a 99% chance Josh was going to get punched if he didn't shut up. I think there's a 100% chance that Mrs. James was glad when the bell rang. I heard about a million rumors at my locker today. Somebody gave the inmates a cell phone. Somebody picked them up in a getaway car. The inmates are in Vermont. They're in Mexico. They're in Canada. It feels like they're everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. The only person not blabbing on and on about it is the new girl, Elodie. Walker and Cole were kind of bugging her at the end of math class, asking her about her brother. Elodie ignored them, but I kind of wish she hadn't. I'm curious about her brother, too. I told Lizzie maybe we could interview Elodie later, but Lizzie said it would be crummy to even ask because people at school are already treating Elodie more like a news story than a person. Lizzie's probably right. It seemed like people were being really nice to Elodie when she first got here last week, but everybody's in a gossipy mood now with the inmates out. Asking Elodie for an interview about her brother probably wouldn't be cool. It reminds me of how Elizabeth Carter Wood got me in trouble by putting our friendly conversation on the news. Sometimes there's a fine line between being a journalist and being a jerk. I'd still really like to know about her brother, though. Your friend from the past, Nora Tucker. Okay, and so then the next thing is Monday, June 10th, recorded on Lizzie's Whisper Flash Z190 at lunch. In the lunch line. Walker, hey, new girl, talk to us. Come on, your brother know those guys who escaped? Elodie, no. Walker, what's he say about being in there? Cole, I bet he's seen some wild stuff go down. Elodie, excuse me, I need to get my lunch. Cole, too good to talk to us? I don't think so. Mrs. Cappelli, is there a problem, boys? Walker, nope, just wanted to introduce ourselves to the new girl. Mrs. Cappelli, that's nice that you're making her feel welcome, but you'd better sit down and start eating. You only have 20 minutes. At our table, Elodie, is it okay if I sit here? Nora, sure. And then there's a note here, and the note says, then it was quiet for a long time because Elodie sat down and ate her sandwich, and Nora and I didn't really know what to say because we had been talking about the prison break. But that would have been weird because of Elodie's brother, so we all just sat and chewed for a while. And then Nora starts talking again. Nora, how'd you like Mrs. James' math class? Elodie, it was okay. Nora, is Wolf Creek different from your old school? Elodie, yeah, a lot. Nora, what was your old neighborhood like? It was the Bronx, right? Elodie, yeah, High Bridge. Nora, did you move here for any particular reason? Lizzie, geez, Nora, let her eat her lunch. Nora, I was just asking. Sorry, go ahead and eat. Lizzie, have you heard what we're doing in gym today? Nora, practicing for field day, but we can't go outside. It's so dumb. Elodie, I don't see why we can't be out on the track. Lizzie, I know, right? What's the likelihood of inmates showing up to crash gym class? What if they don't catch them by field day? Nora, they won't cancel that. There's no way. Elodie, what's so special about field day? Nora, everything. We should throw out our trash because the bell's going to ring. And then Lizzie put some reflections in there. Lizzie's reflections. I could tell Nora didn't want to talk about the Mad Mile. She knows there's no way she can beat Elodie. If she didn't know it for sure at lunch, she found out right after because we had field day practice inside during gym. It was hot and stuffy and sweaty and awful, and we ran around the basketball court 27 times. Elodie raced out in front of Nora on the first lap and never looked back. All right, Monday, June 10th. Text messages between Elodie and her mom. Mama, you home yet? Elodie, just got off the bus. Mama, what are you doing? Elodie, writing some stuff. Mama, there's fruit cut up in the fridge if you're hungry. How was school? Elodie, okay. A couple of boys were bugging me about Troy. Mama, how do they even know? Elodie, IDK Seems like everybody knows everything about everybody here. Mama, you want me to talk with somebody in the office? Elodie, nah, it wasn't a big deal. Just annoying. Mama, keep your head high. Elodie, I know, I am. Mama, got homework? Elodie, that extra credit thing again. Mama, get it done and I'll see you for dinner. Elodie, okay. Mama, love you to the moon and back. Elodie, I love you to Epsilon Eridani b and back. That's a planet outside our solar system. Mama, I love you to Epsilon Eridani c and back. That's a planet just beyond Epsilon Eridani b. Elodie, seriously? Mama, you left your library book in the living room, so I was reading it after you went to bed. Elodie, this was easier when I could get away with loving you to Pluto every time.